was something we grew up with in my family. Like, whenever there was a roast lamb, I would be so excited for the roast because I really like lamb. But then my dad would be like, oh, sick, put the mint sauce out. And I'd be like, I'm reaching for the barbecue sauce, right? Because it's meat, right? And I'm like, I'm going to slather this thing in like barbecue sauce. But we weren't allowed to put the barbecue sauce down if it was a mint sauce thing. And I hated the smell of it, which is wild because I love the smell of mint, right? Like, I've said this before, like, I literally just had mint chocolate chip ice cream, brushed my teeth. Mind you, sensitive toothpaste isn't that minty, it's more liniment-y kind of thing, which is horrid, honestly. But, like, yeah, I'm not bothered by, like, minty sort of stuff, but mint sauce is just, to me, it is disgusting. It could just be the brand that we had. It's very possible that I just didn't like the brand. But also, I just don't like runny liquid with my, like, lamb, like my roast lamb. Like, I prefer more of a viscous kind of, like, consistency or something that's going to actually, like, stick to the meat, you know? And there was something else like that too, actually. The concept of vinegar on chips. We got Viper Range. Undead, spectral hit, multiple shots, teleportation. Oh yeah, it's behind me now. These trees and the fire and the fucking it's crunching. Yeah, I'm not a fan of, like, you know when you get like chips and shit from like fish chip place and stuff? Like, I'm not a huge fan of the like getting wet chips kind of thing. Like, I don't mind if it's like a really nice thick chip gravy, like a nice thick dark, like the kind of chip gravy that exists in Australia, where if you put it in your mouth and you haven't like tried to cool that shit down before putting it in your mouth, you are going to burn the roof of your mouth off. That kind of I don't know, viscosity kind of thing, like the good shit. But yeah, like, I don't mind that with chips and stuff, but as soon as somebody starts, like, I don't know, wetting the chips with vinegar, like, it's a war crime to me. And the thing is, like, it's totally normal for so many people, and the funniest thing is, because, like, my partner came from a beach town, right? He grew up in a beach town and shit. It's just, like, it's one of those things that's sort of a natural thing. You go to a fish and chip store and you have, like, all these different varieties and stuff. So obviously he's had it before, and every so often there is, like, a day and a time where he's like, you know what, I'd like some, like, vinegar on it. And he did it once, early on when we were dating, and it was hilarious because he just assumed that I've had it and would like it and poured it over all of the chips. I was so salty. I was so salty about that. It ruined the chips. And I'm like, this is awful. This is not what I wanted at all, you know? So today I learned that acrylic doesn't like heavily viscous liquids. No. Please don't say stuff like that. Yeah, no. That goes into like weird places that I don't like.
I can't carry it.
Let's see. Chuck in that and that. But I don't like, I don't know what it is, but like, you know when you have like food that's just, it's hot, but it's like lava kind of thing, or magma, whichever fucking one does the thing, right? You know when you see like the top of it looks like it's cool, and it's probably cool to the touch, but then like you crack the fucking surface and it's like scaldingly hot, and everything's pain. I couldn't fit this if I wanted to. So let's head back. And then we'll have to like re-clear our way up. I didn't kill everything down the bottom here because I kind of like cut halfway through. I cut halfway through the area and then I ran out and fought that dude. So we'll have to see how we go.
Hello.
I picked up so much shit though. I would love if one of these guys could drop something, you know, maybe hint, hint, nudge, nudge, a fucking bow that's just incredible that I could use that doesn't have fucking minus requirements or some shit like that, so I could actually use it. That would be so great. Because we got one that was great at one point. The only problem is it had reduced requirements on it. I can't use that. So, yeah. That didn't help me at all. I don't mind hot kind of sauces on whatever I eat, but it cools down, solidifies, and it pisses me. Oh yes, yes, thank you. I even get this with kind of like, you know, when you make like a great like fucking potato bake or something like that, and or like a pasta bake or something, and the cheese solidifies into like a fucking rock solid thing after like a couple of minutes, and you're left with like this, I don't know, solid chunk of cheese instead of pulley, stringy, melty, gooey, fucking delicious cheese and stuff. Like, yeah. I got beef with that too. I also don't like when things turn into a paste like that, because like when I do nachos, I've been able to have the stag chili, the hot stag chili beef stuff again, like the beef and beans.
At your service.
I find that when it cools down, it turns into like, it's not even like a jelly. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, it's not quite a paste, but it's almost like a solid. And it makes no sense because it was a can of something, you know? It's a can of like beaten meat and sauce, you know? And I'm just sitting there so fucking confused, like my nachos, you know? I have to get tactical with my layering. Don't run into there, Eliza. You don't need that business. Selecting now holiday sauces the entire time. If it turned into something different, well, it's pissing me off to no end. Yeah, I know. But then again, like, I get that as well. Like when you're eating something and it's like a time crunch to get it eaten ASAP before it like goes like into the state you don't want to eat it in. And it's not even a temperature thing or fucking texture thing or anything. It's just, it's not as pleasant as when you started eating the thing, and it's not as enjoyable and shit. I also get like one extra layer with that too. When my, what do you call it? When between my teeth, I had like this like false little, what you call it, put on. I'm trying to think of the shit that they patch holes in your teeth when you get cavities and crap. Whatever the fuck that shit is. Right, they put a little bit of that on the back in between two of my teeth and stuff because they had to file it down to access the tooth to work on it and stuff. And so they had to put like a cap on the outside that was like, you know, not tooth. And when that fell off at one point, every single bite of food I took, every single bite, I would take a bite and I'd try to chew and I'd have a piece of food, like I'd have some kind of food rammed up in between those two teeth, like smashing into the jaw. And it was so uncomfortable. I didn't want to like, I wanted to continue chewing to clear my mouth of the food, but I didn't want to continue chewing because of the horrible sensation in my mouth as I was trying to chew. And I'm just like, this is horrid. So, like, yeah, obviously I could chew on, like, the opposite side of my mouth and shit, but, like, stuff still got up there and like, irritated and stuff. So then I had to, like, weigh up, do I just continue to chew through the meal and then deal with it at the end, experiencing a displeasing kind of uncomfortableness the whole time, or do I deal with it between each bite and have, like, a really frustrating, like, slow-paced meal and stuff? I've dealt with that for like way too long because it didn't occur to me for ages that the thing had like fallen off and that the cavity that they'd patched was exposed. I just didn't realize that because like I knew, but it wasn't obvious. So basically, for anybody that doesn't know, I got like a coffee out one day and I was drinking it, and the next minute I kind of felt something like, you know, when you got like some kind of bit of food or something, like foreign objects in your mouth. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So like I obviously like pulled it out and had a look at it, and it looked like tooth. It looked like a piece of tooth. And I didn't feel like I broke anything in my mouth. It's so, to me, it felt like I'd just been given a cup of coffee that had like a tooth in it, you know? Even though it was like just like a shard covering type thing. But anyway, same thing applies, and it took me way too long to like cotton on to the fact that the discomfort that I was experiencing every time I ate was directly related to the fucking missing bit on my tooth. Because it just hadn't occurred to me. I hadn't noticed it. And yeah, anyway, I ended up like getting it patched later on, and it was pretty great. Like nothing was like getting back up there, but then because of how it had been off and exposed and stuff like that, like they weren't able to get the putty shit like all the way to the top near the gums. So I technically have like a very small gap that's bigger than the average gap at like the edge of my gum line between my teeth on one fucking set of teeth, and I still get shit stuck in there. So even though it's not rammed up putting pressure between my two teeth, it's still irritating the shit out of my gums. And I was looking at it literally this week because it was being extra irritating, hence why it's on my brain. And I was looking at it, I'm like, I didn't even think that they could put the shit up there. Like where it is, like they can't put it between the teeth. They would have to like patch off like one side and then push it through the gap sideways. Like that's the only way that they could fix that. Like I guess they could do it, but like, yeah, getting an appointment would be shit. Was it beef fat wears me out? Delicious when hot and turns into abomination when it cools down like 2 degrees. Okay, so this is gonna like probably like royal. I was gonna say like royal your skin, but I'm like, wait a minute, what is that word? So I cooked some lamb during, you know how we had like the 2 really bad cold snaps just really recently, and I had like only lamb for dinner. I'm like, fuck it, I literally don't care. I might actually go back and get some potions and shit. I don't care that this is all I'm having for dinner because it was too cold to like be out in the kitchen or like sort anything else out and crap, right? So I ended up slapping a couple of lamb chops in. They came out piping hot, like, you know, an hour or so later, and I put it on my plate and I turned around to close the oven and I turned back. And you know how obviously when you like, you know, move meat onto a plate or something like that, it drips a little bit sometimes? Yeah, so anyway, it had done that onto the edge of the plate and it had fully fucking solidified the fat on the plate. And then I'm like, you know, I had to obviously like get a drink and wash up my hands and all that stuff, and then, you know, move my plate to where I was going to eat and shit. And by the time I'd already just grabbed a drink and washed my hands, I fucking turn around, and not specifically where the meat is, but like right next to it where the drippings were kind of like seeping out was already solidifying. Like you get like that cold plate, you know, later on kind of situation. And I'm like, this is really bad if it's that cold that the plate is like automatically solidifying the fat, even though it's just fresh out of the oven. Not even 5 fucking minutes. Not realistically, probably not even 3 minutes out the oven. I'm like, that's bad. But yeah, that was a weird textured meal because it continued to fucking solidify while I was trying to cut it up and eat it. So yeah, I had like this not gritty kind of texture, but there was I would say like a mealy kind of texture while I was trying to eat it because of the solidifying fat crust happening. And it wasn't like a fat crust like cap kind of thing, it was just like the drippings solidifying on the outside of it kind of grossness, which I don't have the super hugest problem with, but I was kind of more so looking to dip that shit into it. You know, dip the meat into its own drippings kind of thing, not have a paste solidify on top of my food before I even sat down. That was a weird experience. It's a concrete epoxy, pretty much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's more or less like what it's kind of called. I don't know what the actual term for like the dental stuff is, but I think it's right. Breakfast was amazing. I'm on my way out of here. I should have a damn one of my I will try to in about like, I don't know, an hour and a half or so, I'll be going to sleep. So the rest of my day will be short, but it should be good, hopefully. And yeah, you enjoy whatever you've got going on for the rest of your day as well. Where'd you go, mate? Right here. If I don't pass out as soon as I get home, I might just come by. I mean, I plan to only stream to 1 tonight, so I probably may or may not see you. But drive safe and all that stuff, or like travel safe, whatever you do to get around, stuff like that. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it like this: is I'm playing to 1, but the game could crash before 1. So yeah, I'm kind of like looking at it along those kind of lines, you know. I think that there was one more room in here that had to break as well. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's been a great gas bag tonight. I genuinely, honestly didn't think I'd have this kind of energy tonight, but I'm glad that I do. Because, like, I love chatting with you guys, I really do. It's basically like the highlight of my whole fucking day. It's just like chitty-chatting and shit, having fun. There must be another one of those up here somewhere. And, I was pretty much like tossing up when I started stream tonight, was like, you know, do I... Oh, that was a bit unfair. Do I just like go to bed and like by 3 hours ahead of time I will probably either fallen asleep or be looking to fall asleep, depending on how stuff works, because, you know, even if I'm tired, I may not necessarily fall asleep when I lay down, right? Whereas I could use that time and like stream and shit, my normal time, and then like the reprieve is that instead of doing like the big editing afterwards, I get to go to sleep. So I'm like, that's possible. I think I could manage that. I'm like, the worst case scenario is like, if I went live and I was live for like an hour and I got progressively tired and my eyes were sore and I was like dozing off and shit, I would probably just like, you know, end early and shit, obviously. But it hasn't been like that, which is nice. I was worried it was going to be like that. Like I said, when I fell asleep for 10 minutes, that was an interesting thing for me, because I was kind of like, I know how it happened. I was trying to rest my eyes. Maybe watch Simpsons will immediately just like know exactly what that's all about. But I kept like trying to rest one eye at a time. I have got like a night mask thing. I don't wear it to sleep for my eyes and stuff like that, because I have like ear piercings and shit, right? So having earplugs and a night mask and stuff like that, it's too much pressure in and around my ears and crap to do that. It's like more of an emergency kind of thing of like, if it's really super bright or my eyes are really sore, because I can put like a cooling thing in them to like soothe them and stuff, which I realistically should have probably put the cooling thingy in them. That would have helped. But yeah, it was just nice and soft, and it just like gave me the comfort of, you know, when you like you lay up against like a pillow, right? Like sort of face down-ish, but to the side and stuff. It kind of had like that soft comfortiness sort of thing, which was very soothing for my eyeballs. And obviously like it was relaxing and stuff, because like I was only half watching stuff. When I'd open the other eye briefly after having it shut for a while, I had like borderline no fucking visibility for a moment, or at least like a little while. I was taking to happily trying to move back forward while keep it covered. No, I was gonna say, I'm like, you're trying to keep it warm, but I realized you're in the heat, and like you're probably trying to like keep it like cool and soothed and stuff. Although keeping it covered and stuff makes me wonder if it's like I assume sprain, but if keeping it covered now makes me think like maybe it's like external injury kind of thing, more so than internal injury. Oh, like, and you're like always in the wars. I swear, like at first it was just like all the running around and stuff you're doing, all the zoomy frolicking, and obviously now this time it's like exploring and shit. But still, you're like always the I don't know, ever injured wolf. It's like snuggling both wolf plushes. Gives everyone feather nods. I do hope that you feel better though. Like, I don't know how much it like restricts your like ability to, you know, enjoy your day and stuff like that. Or, I don't know, whatever you get up to and stuff. But hopefully it's not too bad. Like, hopefully it's just a matter of like you just got to stay off it for a little while and let it recover and stuff, you know. Mind you, that can also sometimes be the worst depending on like the person. Like, I know I'm supposed to stay off like certain injuries and stuff like that when I get them, but I don't. I do and I don't. So I sort of, depends what it is. Like when I broke my toes, I did stay off them pretty good, but I learned how to walk on my heel for a while so that I could still get around. Because I'm like alone for half the day. So like if I need something, I can't just be like, hey Azula, do you mind? You know? Yeah, I thought that one was pretty funny because I'm like, you know, I walk on the front of my feet. So when I get like toe-related injuries or a sprain in my foot or something like that, that more so like impedes my ability to like, I don't know, mobility and stuff. But then again, sometimes having a foot and or leg injury can be like really exhausting too, because it also puts like, it puts additional strain on the rest of your body as you try to like walk around, compensate on like your other limb and use like different muscles and stuff like that. And it can build up to be like pretty tiring, honestly. At least I feel that way. Hey Thresh Socket, Curse Teleportation Cold Enchanted. Now, I didn't try to hit him last time. I don't know if he could turn away for a second. Oh yeah, no, I'm doing okay damage. I'm just a bit concerned if he turns around. Okay. Well, the cool thing is I've been able to use my offhand weapon a little bit. We must be, like, I'm not that one-to-one to the area, but we gotta be making a fucking improvement, right? Because, like, the way I look at it, right, is I'm killing this guy moderately fast. It's not the fastest, I'm not killing him at the maximum capacity, but I am going up against fire immunes and stuff, and it's not that big of a deal lately. Like, clusters of them. We had that one slip up where I clicked off screen earlier tonight, like at the start of tonight. I clicked off the screen to like enable something, and I tried to like use a potion. Obviously potions don't work when you're not like actually clicked into the game. So I died because I didn't realize that I'd done that. But I mean, apart from that, we're actually keeping up with the area. So like if we excuse the one little death that we had, I actually think we're doing okay. I also sort of feel like that evil thing is supposed to spawn more than just spiders, you know? Smiles no, it's working too happily. That's not going to be both full pushes. No. Alright, well, we'll be going in here, and I do want to poke my nose in. Calm down, game. So, I want to find the waypoint for in there. I cannot remember if it's passage 1 or, like, a second thing. I'm going to have a quick look at the waypoint thing. Just to check. I probably have room for that in my thing. Oh, it's like $1,000 on its own. Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick check of where it is, because like as much as I remember a lot of where I'm going and shit in the game, there's just like, when it comes to waypoints and stuff, some areas I just don't remember which level they're on, you know? So, Crystalline Passage. Okay, so it's not Crystalline Passage 1 or 2 or whatever, it just says Crystalline Passage, which means it's in here somewhere. So, ideally, I'd like to play like normal and poison resistant 3%. That could be useful later, actually. I'd like to be able to slowly push through and find it and see if we can find it. Food dexterity is not that great. I'm pretty sure there's something else that gives me dexterity. Fuck knows what it is. Oh, that. That does 8. What is this? 2. Yeah, no, get rid of that. Alright. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure one of the fucking gems does it. Like I said, recalling information, not in the best light at the moment because, like, I am, like, tired. So my brain's just like, oh yeah, there's information, but we'll get to it. So, I do like how the crystalline passage looks. I think it's very cool. Now, I'm pretty sure up, unless this is rotated, which all my maps, not all of them, but most of them have been rotated. So I feel like up, but up should be out. So we'll go up. And we'll see how we go, because this... Ooh! Oh, hello. Cave Leapers. These guys, they blend in so nicely. They look great. This is like our first time poking in here in hell, so getting to see that... Oh, hello. There's a special in here. Grief Eye the Witch. Extra strong curse, magic resistant. And you've got some snowdrifters and shit in here too. Come back here, you. Nice. Yeah, I'm curious how well we kind of go through this area because it is hell. We haven't actually walked in here at hell yet. Oh shit, hold on. No, play with that for a second. Oh, we've got Grief Grin the Mad. Extra strong fire enchanted, cold enchanted. Well, it would help if we helped Valkyrie. So, yeah. But I'm so keen to get a fucking waypoint. Like, the thing is, like, it would really suck to, is it 2 here? No, it's just 1. It suck not to get it. I look forward to kind of exploring through this. I remember, because obviously this is how you go through like all the act and shit like that to get up to fucking Baal and shit. I used to run through like the tunnels and shit pretty frequently. Which is also, oh shit, he got me at a hell of a range. I might need to start standing further back. An ancient shield. Yeah, damn, okay. If their radius is like that, I can hear something hissing. Nope, let's not go that way. I didn't realize that that immediately took us around the fucking corner. And then that goes that way too. I can hear like snake things, which makes me think, you know, the serpents? Oh, shit, it is. Yeah, the claw vipers. Oh god, they're following us too. There's Pox the Unclean in here. Nope. Oh, fuck that. Holy shit. I knew I could hear them, but... Crackers. Fucking... Yeah, one at a time, mate. I remember these guys. I want to repeat that. Okay, we're gonna have to take this a little tiny bit slower. I need to kind of... Yeah, get some claw vipers down here. I'd like to get Valkyrie up in there, but I also don't want her to die. There's Plague's Pox. What? Plague? Whoa, hold on. There's 2. There was Plague Pox, the Unclean, Stone Skin, Cold Enchanted, Aura Enchanted. Yeah, I think that's all of them, and immune to cold. Okay, if we could get rid of him, and then we got the other dude, because he's the one doing the aura. Oh, so lucky I was outside of that range. Okay, there's definitely another one up in here. I know that there is, because I don't think we killed the special dude for this. Might have. I'm gonna have to be really careful of the directions, actually. I don't know what that attack is. Like, I want to change over to the old graphics, but I also don't want to accidentally crash the game or anything like that, because I do that every so often, and I do question if it contributes. But if I come across him again, or like that attack again, I would love to have like a closer look at what the fuck it looks like in the older form, because I don't recognize it. Just like a case of like, you know, the old game looking a certain way. I didn't use that much health. Okay. So this kind of like winds us up around the corner. I kind of feel like it's over that way, but the waypoint is probably down here, I feel like. What is that? Look at that aura! Viper Vex, extra strong, aura enchanted, cold enchanted. Jesus Christ, what is this, like 3 specials?